We all get stressed from time to time. It's part of normal life these days, isn't it? Some people become angry and impatient when they get stressed. Other people become weepy and indecisive. It can affect your concentration during the day. Some people can't sleep because of stress. We all have good days and bad days, and all sorts of things can stress us out. Work stuff, families, relationship problems, money and bills, health problems, and even those things that are supposed to be fun like parties and weddings and holidays. You may be watching this film because you're overstressed. You can't cope with the things that you can normally handle. It's not a walk in the park anymore. You might be one of life's great worriers, or you might be the calm, unflappable person everybody comes to with their problems. You might be somewhere in the middle. The point is, you can't change your personality. We're all different, and we all have our own limits. Stress can be good for us. The pressure of exams, say, will make us learn in a more focused way. It can really make us up our game when it counts. But you may be watching this film because you are overstressed. You may feel you just can't cope with the stuff that you usually handle. Stress can cause many physical symptoms like headache, stiff neck, tension. You may feel like your insides are churning away. Some people get palpitations as well. If you have an existing health complaint like eczema or irritable bowel syndrome or any chronic pain, these symptoms can get much worse when you're under stress. We're unlikely to be able to avoid stress altogether. We need help to cope with it better. The good news is that there's lots we can do without having to reach for tablets or getting into unhelpful bad habits. The suggestions I'm going to talk about today are just that, suggestions. Some things will work really well for some people, and other people will have different coping strategies. But if you have been feeling quite anxious and unsettled for some time, why not look at some of the suggestions we have and try something? What have you got to lose? If we can recognise when we're stressed and what might be the common trigger for it, we are halfway there. You could try keeping a diary for 2 to 3 weeks. You don't have to be the next Shakespeare. You just list the times, people, events and places you feel cause you the most stress. This might help to pinpoint any patterns. If you can work out what's causing the stress, the next 2 things might be helpful. Firstly, talking it through with a friend or family member can really help to understand the stress itself and your reaction to it. A problem shared is often a problem halved, and you might get a different perspective on the situation just by describing it. Secondly, you can use some anti-stress techniques when you feel your stress rising. It doesn't matter what it is. If you find that activity relaxing, take 5 minutes out and do that. It's about helping yourself relax and unwind. It's about self-care. General self-care is really important and is often the first thing to go out the window when we're all stressed. A routine and structure to the day helps you deal with all that necessary stuff of life. Decide what really needs to be done today and what can be left for another time. Several times a day, try to stop. Take some time out. Perhaps do some deep breathing or walk around the block. How about switching off your phone for half an hour so you can just be alone and unobtainable? Exercise can be a real help for keeping stress under control and getting sleep back on track. It doesn't have to cost anything. You don't need to join a gym. If you don't normally exercise much, start with walking. It can be done from your front door. A 20-minute walk every day, enough to get a bit breathless and sweaty, will make all the difference to your fitness and stress levels. The rhythm of walking is calming to an overactive mind. Another thing you might want to try is deep breathing. When people are anxious, they breathe in a short and shallow way and quite rapidly. If you take your time Count your breaths, breathe in a slow and relaxed way, try to use your tummy muscles and extend your chest, breathe out nice and slowly. You can sometimes help control your symptoms. The best thing about deep breathing is you can do it anywhere, nobody needs to know. Despite all I've said about how to help yourself with stress, if you feel your stress is beyond the power to manage, you may need more specialised help. Talking therapies, counselling, or cognitive behavioural therapy, or CBT for short, would be the first thing we'd recommend as the next step. Trained counsellors can be your guide and help you find ways to deal with your stresses. It can be really helpful to give you tools for life in managing your stress. You don't need to wait to see a GP to get this started. The counselling services in this area are open for you to contact them directly. When people suffer from chronic stress and anxiety, the symptoms can be very disabling, and it is very tempting to self-medicate. When I say self-medicate, what I mean is the use of drug and alcohol. And this can start off very gradually, just like a small glass of wine at night time just to steady the nerves. But unfortunately, this short-term fix can lead to long-term problems. If you feel that you're becoming reliant on drug and alcohol to control your symptoms of anxiety, there is help available. Flag it up early. I'm sure there's something we can do to help. So, I hope this has helped give you some suggestions about how you might cope with your stress. If despite all I've mentioned, you feel you're overwhelmed by stress, you really can't cope, please do come and see us at the surgery.